Welcome to Play Digital. Today we're going to be looking at Half-Life 2 Episode 2, which was released for PC via the Steam network last week and which is coming to retail on 360 next week. At the end of the last instalment, Gordon cruised out of a newly demolished City 17, holding a very important data key that he'd stolen from the Combine.
Hunters! They're up there.
Episode 2 picks up where we left off. You and your partner Alex have got to get that data key to the Resistance, a band of merry men hiding in White Forest, the game's central location. If you can manage that, you might just be able to stop the imminent Combine invasion. If you can't, well, you and your buddies are dead meat, and you'll have just wasted 8 hours of gameplay. 8 hours might not seem like much, but it is 8 hours crammed to bursting with hardcore FPS goodness. Half-Life has always been a story-based shooter at heart, built around incredible set pieces and a character-based storyline. Now, Episode 2 is no different, with a really gripping story that will draw you right in, and even throw you some real what-the-heck moments as the plot starts to reveal itself. In fact, of all the Half-Life games, this one probably has the most storyline packed in for its length, and the ending sets things up perfectly for Episode 3 to come along and resolve everything. There are no new weapons to play with, but there is a new vehicle, a scrapped-together hot rod, and this is rather different from anything you've seen in the series before. As always, the run-and-gun gameplay is present, but now with better enemy AI and more realistic physics. The new improved AI now leads to some really awesome battles as antlions, headcrabs and Combine face off against each other and against you.
Observe how they fight on below, heedless of our escape.
In fact, the battles throughout are a lot more fun this time. After 3 games, Valve has finally got the pacing of the game spot on. Rather than bombarding you with constant firefights and saves, Episode 2 mixes it up with puzzles and story, and this just makes the fighting even more intense and fun. As a piece of game design, aspiring game developers will be studying this for years to come.
Has done his task magnificently.
The game supports multiple graphics cards and CPU cores, and it looks fantastic when you put it on a top-of-the-range PC. But the engine scales down well, so if you're not quite so well endowed in the hardware region, you'll still have a good experience. Of course, with so many great shooters hitting PCs and consoles over the autumn period, the question is whether Episode 2 deserves your time. And the answer is, of course, yes! This game will drag you right back into Gordon Freeman's world and engross you in it, making space stations and halos seem like a distant dream. If you're not a fan of the Half-Life universe, then granted there's not much to appeal to you here, but then you're probably brain dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. There was never much doubt in anyone's minds that Valve would produce a fantastic game in Episode 2, and that faith has been rewarded. It looks great and it plays better. Now, the game costs £25 to buy digitally as part of the Orange Box package, which includes Team Fortress 2, Portal and the previous Half-Life 2 instalments. Now, this is excellent value, particularly when you consider just how awesome the other games are. Now, we know that your gaming schedules are really busy right now, but seriously, clear some space and spend some quality time in City 17. It is going to be some of the best gaming time you spend this year. 5 stars.